I need your help. Now, I'll get into it in a minute. Until then, I'll show you a little bit of an update of what I've been up to and what's currently in the works, as it were. The dreadnought has not been touched. That is because I'm still getting to grips with flat panels, with green and brush, airbrushes. Honestly, looking into getting one because, painting a brush on a flat panel like this, not fun. And you probably can't really see it properly on here, but it's a little bit streaky. I've managed to cover up a lot of the streaks, but that's a work in progress still. However, a little bit of a story here. On the weekend, I went to my local Warhammer shop with two friends. One of them is the one I was planning on doing the 500 points with, who has now ordered his Sisters of Battle, along with a few paints and tools and things that I've recommended. And when we went in, I asked a few questions about the rules and how it would work without Codex having been released for Chaos Space Marines. Got the answers. Lovely guy in there. Very helpful. Got the mini of the month. The aesthetic I'm going for here is he's going to be run as a Terminator chaplain. I didn't really have my tools on me properly because I was not at my house, but I wanted to introduce them to how to paint it properly, and stuff like that. So I kind of brought a file with me, filed off the Dark Angels symbol, and instead sat with that. The swords are kind of like fine. I think it looks quite baller. I think it looks quite cool. I went with the Screamer Pink on the what's this called? Tabard. So that's like the first sort of mini I've got done since the last video. This is an old Primaris Chaplain from Indomitus that I had. Conveniently, the shoulder is painted the same color as the chapter. So I thought to myself, hey, you know what? I'll just slide this into this chapter now. So there's a second model. We still got our Blade Guard. We've still got this Intercessor. The Captain is still here. I have finished the Lieutenant. The dry brushing on the shield really makes it stand out for me, and I love the effect it has. A bit messy on the backpack, but on the power pack even, but we'll deal with it. Now, I was thinking about some variety because I think having all the minions, all of the models look with this would look quite aesthetically pleasing. However, I want to have not a full utilitarian grasp for my chapter, but I also want them to have that a bit more like thinking involved with their armor. So for any of the Phobos Marines, what I've done is I've base coated in Warg Flesh, and I've never really tried it before, but I've been trying to do more sponging. And with this sponging, I basically have been trying to dabble more of the more green variety to give it more of a camo texture. I have a model that I'll probably bring out. It's from Star Wars Legions. It's a sort of 41st clone trooper. I'll try and bring that out for the next video. It's just right now not on me. It kind of has just come out to be more like a Salamander's green, which, I mean, it's not the worst. The annoying thing is, the one color that would basically help stop this is Death Guard green, and I went to open my pot of Death Guard green, and despite it being properly sealed, it's very much solidified, so I've kind of just got rid of that because I can't be bothered to wrestle with it effectively. This is something I'm kind of just going to be working on. This is a test model for that, but I want the Phobos units to have more of a casual, a smart jungle theme to them. Also, thank you for the support on the video that was uploaded, the Legion's tier list. There will be another video that I'm currently working on the script for regarding Lehman Russ, because when it comes to the Space Wolves, there were a few comments about them, so I thought, you know what? It'll basically be what I'd like to see in more depth, especially with their coming range refresh. Hopefully, if the rumors are to be believed. As for things that models I've basically decided are going to be added into the army, I've got a lot of them scattered around. I have the apothecary biologist. I went to go and base that earlier, but number one, it's really windy today, and number two, the rain can't decide if it wants to stay or go. Lovely weather of Britain. This is probably going to be run as a librarian. It's a bit of a blend of Stormcast Sequitors, I want to say. Tried to do a bit of green stuff, like to make the blade more flamey. Not sure how that's going to come out. That'll matter more in the paint job, I think, to get that looking right. But it's not the worst looking model I have. Similarly, this is a librarian I made way back. So one of the first Sequitur kit bashes I did. This is like probably going to be the chief librarian of the chapter. Stuyven Jern. He's like the head of the Librarius. The chapter I want to have quite a big Librarius focus. And one of the reasons I'm going to also be looking to try and get this guy painted up, who's my Judicia, is the lore behind chaplains is they, after an event that happens, have been given, which that story will hopefully be coming out soon, have been given an increased role in the chapter where they operate both as chaplains and as effectively mini fleet masters and admirals. So the chapter's battle barges and such, the larger vessels, each have a chaplain dedicated to them. So this guy, for example, would lead a battle barge or all of that, you know, and that way just adds a bit more flavor to them. When it comes to kit bashing and stuff, I'm currently quite low on funds, so I'm limited with what I have available. I have my box of organized bits, and then I have just loads of different bits assorted from everywhere else. That box will probably be ransacked a bit to try and add more flavor to other models. However, the thing I need help with is on Saturday, in that story I was saying about taking my friends to the Warhammer shop, one of my other friends decided they were going to get stuck in with the NIDs. So they bought the starter box. This means that whereas before, let me find the model. Whereas before I'd painted my Leviathan Terminators in a different scheme for a different chapter, I now have the opportunity to revisit them because I took the Space Marine half of that box. So I now have the Terminators from the starter set or Leviathan. I haven't really cleaned it up yet because my plan is not to paint it anytime soon, or at least not until I've made this video and had some feedback and stuff, because, as I say, I want this chapter to have a more intriguing approach. I'm trying something different for the Phobos, and similarly, I want to try something different for the Terminators. This is an exception because it's a chaplain. That's my headcanon on that. And chaplains I want to be very, uniform. I want to do something with the Terminators, and I don't know what. Because I was thinking about, with the Phobos, maybe adding a lion... sorry, not a lion, a tiger, shoulder pad to them. Trying to paint in that, black and orange. Because their homeworld, obviously, is a jungle world. Jungle hive world, that sort of vibe. Which means that it's full of a lot of predators and things like that, and nothing Katachan level. It's not going to be like a death world, but it's going towards that direction. And essentially what I want to do is make it where the Terminators have, I don't want them to just be bland Terminators black and green. So what I'm asking is, if you have any ideas, and this means anything, it'd greatly be appreciated, because what I want to do, I'm happy to try and learn to green stuff more, maybe. So let me find an example of, as minimal as this is sort of a fur coat I tried to put on a potential Space Wolf sort of character that I was working on, but I don't know if I'm going to end up committing to that. I might. But, I was thinking of maybe doing a pelt or something on each of them. I don't know if the pelt's the best choice, though. maybe there's a better alternative that I'm just missing. Because I do want them to basically be emblems of their homeworld. The way I see it is when you join the chapter, you go through all the trials, you then join the scouts. Once you progress past the scouts, you go to the Phobos. Once you go past the Phobos, you go to just the standard Primaris. Once you get past Primaris, you go to Gravis. And once you get past Gravis, you go to Terminator. So it not, obviously that's not the rule of thumb, but that is essentially the sort of style I'm trying to go for. And if you become like a librarian or leader or anything HQ unit, basically, it's entirely your choice. Because they want the HQs to be like optimally working. So if they feel comfortable in Gravis, it makes sense, or Terminator or whatever. Now, as I say, I want to try and make it so the Terminators have some sort of flavor to them. Ideally something... Well, actually, no, with Terminators, I'm happy to spend a lot more time on them because I love Terminator models. I think they look really cool, especially with the size, refresh, as it were. So, yeah, if you have any ideas for those, please just drop it in the comments. In addition, I have a few video ideas that I'm going to be working on. You'll probably be seeing a Dawn of War playthrough. Disclaimer, I have dabbled in... I've played a decent... Not a decent amount, but like some Dawn of War 1 with friends. I've played the first couple of missions of Dawn of War 2's campaign. I've never really touched Dawn of War 3. I tried and then decided I much prefer the others. So, if you want me to start at Dawn of War 1, I can. I'm happy to. As I say, I haven't really touched the campaign of it. Dawn of War 2 is just more the camp... Well, I've touched the Dawn of War 1 campaign, but I enjoyed the Dawn of War 2 one more from like the few missions I've played. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Once again, thanks for the support in the latest video. It's kind of crazy to see that it's, rocketed. This is sort of a brief hobby update. I think this is number 6. I like to try and keep on top of it. And also just by making these, it makes me go, I have made progress. Yes. So, I mean, in essence, what we had was just these 3. And now I can add these 3. So forces have doubled. However, I'm going to start actually trying to properly commit to getting these 500 points ready. Because as I say, I now have a friend who has essentially 500 points of Tyranids. My friend's about to get 500 points of Sisters of Battle. Because I think what he's doing is getting the Combat Patrol, taking out a Canoness and putting in Saint Celestine. And taking out the Arco-Flagellants as well. So that'll be interesting to deal with. I have my plans ready for my Demon Prince Heretic Astartes when I get that. That'll with wings. When I get that, that'll be a large painting project that I'll probably focus on more when I get it. Until then, I'll just keep sort of working through my Wayward Sons or Reapers of Isengol. So yeah, please, if you have any ideas for Terminators, let me know. As I say, even if you just think, oh, you could have like a pelt on the back or the front or something, or, alternatively, you could do this or that or whatever. I'm entirely open to ideas. And I think it'd be quite cool to have some feedback and like input from you guys. I don't really have much else to say today. It's not really a massive ramble. But just know, I've managed to get my friends involved, and they're now at the point where they're taking interest and wanting to paint stuff. So you're welcome, Games Workshop, for the sales pitch I clearly made that was quite good. No, they're just I'm looking forward to what the future holds. Other than that, thank you for the support lately. Thank you for watching this. As I say, feel free to drop anything in the comments, whether that be a video suggestion. I have a few other videos, as I say, in the works of more theory-based stuff. I'm trying to figure out a good way to film, because as I say, I'm using a Lego stand to film this, because as I say, don't exactly have the biggest funding right now, so I can't exactly go and buy a proper camera with a proper stand. that is on my list of things to do. I'm just currently waiting for my job to approve my checks so that I can basically start working and getting an actual wage rather than doing sort of odd jobs here and there where I can. Thank you for watching, and I will see you hopefully very soon. I'm planning on making my uploads more regular, so bye-bye.